Hello everyone, I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to memorize the equations that are needed to go from pH to POH, acid, and bases. So let's get right into it. So first I'm going to draw pH, POH, OH, and H30, which is our hydronium. You can see that. Okay. So I always start with pH, and even when I'm drawing it out, just initially, I start with my pH. It's always good in a memorization to have a starting point, and so that's going to be my pH. So I'm going to go to the right. So I'm going pH to my hydronium, and going here will be 10 plus pH. And one thing to remember is that the symbol always follows the sign. pH is going to follow pH. So hydronium is going to follow hydronium. So now as we go to our hydroxide, we're going to use an equation, and it's going to be 1 times 10 to the negative 14 divided by our hydronium. Okay, so now from our hydroxide to our POH, this is going to be a negative logarithm of our hydroxide. Okay, now lastly, from our POH to our pH, it's going to be 14 minus POH. Okay, so that is the first part, and now we have to switch directions. So I'm going to also start again with my pH. And so now we have to go in the reverse direction. Okay, so we're going from our pH to our POH, and it's going to be exactly the same except for the sign will be different. So it'll be 14 minus pH, because the pH, the symbol follows the sign. So now we're going to our hydroxide, and just a thing to note, not every one of these errors are going to be mirrored. It's not going to be the same each time, but there's kind of a trick for each one. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be 10 minus our POH. And this is the same as our 10 over here, except for its subtraction. Okay, so that's a good way to memorize it. All right, now we're going to go from our hydroxide to our hydronium. And this is going to be the exact same equation, but hydroxide is going to be on our denominator. So it'll be 1 times 10 to the negative 14 divided by our hydroxide. Okay? All right, great. So we're pretty much all the way there. We're just going to go from our hydroxide to our pH. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to use negative logarithm of our hydronium, which if you look directly across, it's going to be the exact same, except for we're going to use hydronium instead. So it's going to be negative logarithm of our hydronium. Great, so we are finished now, and as you can see, this is a great map that you can use to help with your equations. If you can remember this, you will be able to do all of your equations very easily without trying to memorize all of this in your head. If you're given a value of hydronium that you need to find the pH of, you don't need to remember all of these different steps. You can just go through it, just go through your head. So say this is 5 5.9, you would just say, okay, so I have 5.9 of hydroxide. So you would just put the negative log of 5.9, and then you would just subtract 14 from that, and that would give you your final pH value. So I hope this has been helpful for you. This has helped me so much on my exams. Please remember to subscribe and like if you would like to. Also remember that chemistry is hard, but you can do this and get through it. No matter what comes your way, you can succeed. So don't give up, and remember, you're awesome. I don't know what this is, but it's okay.